In April 2026, a small group of users on a private forum bypassed normal security protocols. Through a third-party vendor environment, they gained rogue access to a restricted model developed by the AI startup Anthropic. Within hours, an engineer with zero formal cybersecurity training asked the AI to find a vulnerability in a critical internet system. He went to bed, and the next morning, a fully functional exploit was sitting in his inbox. The model involved was Claude Mythos Preview. What Anthropic discovered during internal testing was so alarming that the company enacted a ban on its public release, a move that broke with every established tech industry norm. The group that bypassed the security environment consisted of regular users in a private forum. According to reports, these individuals were more interested in playing around with the technology than launching state-sponsored sabotage. This single overnight exploit suggests that the gatekeepers of cyber warfare are losing their monopoly. When a curious amateur can extract a functional zero-day without a background in security, the traditional requirement for years of specialized study begins to dissolve. Historically, launching a military-grade cyber attack required highly organized groups. You needed a team of specialists, custom tools, and months of reconnaissance to find a single workable flaw in a system's defense. Corporate boards built their risk calculus around this assumption. If a software vulnerability was buried deeply enough and required immense effort to exploit, executives could safely classify the probability of an attack as low. They deferred fixing the problem to save money. Autonomous AI tips the scales entirely. By reducing the time and cost of an attack to near zero, it eliminates the safety of complexity. An exploit that once required a specialized team working for weeks can now be generated in a single afternoon. Any organization still defending its network based on the old effort to exploit ratio is now structurally defenseless. The protective moat provided by the high cost of entry has dried up. Anthropic developed Mythos to push the boundaries of software engineering. They set out to build an AI capable of managing massive, complex codebases, the ultimate developer. To achieve this, they gave the model a capability called agentic scaffolding. This allows Mythos to operate without human prompting, forming its own hypotheses, running tests, launching debuggers, and self-correcting its approach until it achieves its goal. It features an infinite context window. Instead of scanning piece by piece, Mythos ingests and reasons across an entire system architecture simultaneously. With that sweeping view, it locates tiny, seemingly unrelated flaws and chains them together to pierce secure perimeters without human intervention. The exact same traits required for advanced software engineering, autonomy, reasoning, and perfect recall, function as the mechanics for a devastating cyber weapon. To measure the scale of this threat, Anthropic's offensive security team ran a controlled benchmark. They isolated code from the Firefox JavaScript engine and gave the AI a simple goal: find a security vulnerability. This chart plots the results. Out of hundreds of attempts, the previous top-tier model, Claude Opus, managed to build a working exploit exactly 2 times. Mythos succeeded 181 times. Left to its own devices, Mythos identified thousands of flaws that had survived decades of human review. It autonomously uncovered a 27-year-old bug in OpenBSD and a critical flaw in the FFmpeg media framework that had remained invisible for 16 years. This discovery happens at machine speed, driven by silicon, but remediation, writing and deploying patches, still moves at the sluggish speed of human engineering. This asymmetry is the defining cybersecurity crisis of the next decade. AI is uncovering vulnerabilities faster than organizations can physically close them. In the corporate boardroom, executives are facing a harsh reality check. AI models like Mythos do not create new weaknesses. They expose the existing technical debt that leadership has ignored for years. The most critical targets are operational technology, or OT, environments. These are the physical systems coordinating water supplies, manufacturing, and industrial power grids. Many of these systems rely on architecture that is decades old. Because they control critical infrastructure, they often cannot be taken offline for security patches without completely halting essential physical operations. These systems historically relied on their own complexity and obscurity for protection. An AI that can instantly map billions of lines of code renders that obscurity useless. Anthropic responded by launching Project Glasswing. They granted competitors like Apple and Microsoft access to Mythos, allowing them to attack and patch their own systems before a similar model reaches the public. Major financial institutions like JP Morgan Chase have joined this race. They are working to close decades of technical debt before the AI's capabilities leak to the wider world. For the rest of the corporate world, the standard 10% annual budget increase is no longer enough to cover the risk. Consulting firms are advising that companies must double their cybersecurity spend immediately just to maintain parity. Reaching safety requires far more than just capital. Instead, companies are reallocating internal talent to dedicated AI threat war rooms. These teams use the same frontier models as the attackers to aggressively probe their own networks before a breach occurs. This shift involves rebuilding networks around a zero-trust architecture, continuous anomaly detection, and automated patching. The goal is to identify and contain threats at the same speed at which the AI generates them. Project Glasswing proves we have a window of 12 to 24 months to implement these defenses. After that, Mythos-level hacking capabilities will be available to anyone with a credit card.